Supreme Court hears Tinubu's plea for dismissal of Atiku'S appeal. Ha ha ha. Now wow. Now wow. So the same way Tinubu wanted to block his the release of his document by CSU in the United States, the same way he's also trying to block Atiku and Obi from having judgment from CSU. I mean from the Supreme Court of Nigeria. So after Peter Obi of Labour Party and Atiku of PDP have filed their appeal to the Supreme Court, Tinubu has sent his lawyers also to ask the Supreme Court to dismiss Atiku'S appeal. And Atiku'S appeal is carrying from the Presidential Election Petition Court. Peter Obi was at the top of the notch with all the evidences and everything. But with what is happening at the Supreme Court now, Atiku seems to have also gotten upper hand by exhuming those documents from the CSU from the United States. Now, this is a very serious one. So the same way he said that releasing a document in the United States will cause him irreparable damage, it's most likely what he's scared of too, by begging the Supreme Court of Nigeria to dismiss Atiku'S appeal against him. Now, wow. He staunchly insisted that the tribunal's decision to validate his election was accurate. Can you imagine? So he wants the Supreme Court to uphold the judgment of the appeal court by the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal. So President Bola Tinubu has fervently requested the Supreme Court to quash the appeal lodged by former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and the People's Democratic Party challenging his triumph in the 2023 presidential election. We know that those people are rubber stamped Supreme Court now, so nobody should even expect anything good to come out of that Supreme Court. That is the truth. President Tinubu, asserting that the appeal was derogatory in nature, ardently prayed for his outright dismissal, reinforcing the authenticity of his victory. President Tinubu adamantly contended that Atiku and the PDP failed to substantiate their claims and submissions at the tribunal. He staunchly insisted that the tribunal's decision to validate his election was accurate. Okay, he earnestly implored the Apex Court to uphold the lower court's ruling and summarily reject the appeal in its entirety, citing its lack of merit and genuine intention. Now, wow. So Atiku Abubakar and the PDP had originally filed a petition contesting the outcome of the presidential election held on February 25, 2023. Among their numerous grievances, the petitioners alleged that the election was marred by irregularities and substantial non-compliance with the Electoral Act. They also contended that President Tinubu and his vice, Kashim Shettima, were unqualified to contest and did not secure victory through the majority of lawful votes cast. However, the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, in its verdict on September 6th, ruled against Atiku, asserting that he failed to substantiate the allegations in his petition. On the 3rd, Atiku promptly filed an appeal before the Supreme Court on September 18, 2023. So in the 35-page point notice of appeal, the appellant vehemently criticized the tribunal's findings, labeling them as riddled with grave errors and gross misrepresentation, leading to a miscarriage of justice. Exactly. Actually, the outcome of that election tribunal was a miscarriage of justice, frankly speaking, because we saw the loads of evidences, loads of exhibits that both Labour Party and PDP brought to that tribunal. And at the end of the day, Labour Party and PDP were able to produce enough witnesses that stood and witnessed against APC. Unfortunately, APC and Tinubu could not bring anybody as witness. The ones that promised to come, all of them sky. INEC could not produce witness. APC could not produce witness. Only one lawmaker came on behalf of Tinubu under oath. So at the end of the day, they didn't even have anybody to support them. So actually, PDP and Labour Party had overwhelming evidences that they provided, but the tribunal refused to admit them because they already had a predetermined mindset towards the the court case. Quite unfortunate. Okay, so right now at the end of the thing, because the tribunal is saying that Atiku could not substantiate his claims. Atiku, in line to make sure he reinforces his claims, went to CSU in the United States to exhume Tinubu's record there to prove that he forged the certificate that he submitted to INEC, to also prove or conclude the forgery allegation that has been on his neck for over 20 years ago, that was started by late Gani Fawehinmi, and now that matter is blown to the open right now. So Tinubu obviously is seeing that the whole thing is very terrible. He's actually doing damage to his personal and political career, and is looking for every means to stop it. The system also understands that a group of social media warriors have been put together, propagandists have been put together to generate and spread propaganda for him so as to disabuse people's mind. But is it working? It is not working. Just like some analysts will say that we know what we know, that whether you like it or not. If you like, try to gag the media, the what we know in our head is still what we know in our head. Okay? So the way things are going now, I don't know. Nobody's expecting anything good to come out of the tribunal. But even at that, both Atiku and Obi are not relenting. They want to pursue this matter to a logical conclusion. Okay. Now, Atiku has also promised that if Apex Court, which is Supreme Court, rules in favor of Tinubu, well, that is the highest court in the land. There's no other court to go, and he will rest his case. That was what he promised. That is it. So why not allow them to take this case to the end first? Okay, because the way it is, I know that they are going to favor Tinubu. Everybody is aware of that. Even Peter Obi, I know that by the time they rule this, the Supreme Court rules in favor of Tinubu, even Peter Obi will rest his case because there's no other court to go. It's just that there could be, there have to be other ways of ensuring that this Nigeria is, is taken back from the hand of the so-called political criminals that have hijacked the nation for their selfish interest. That is it. So that is the situation we are seeing here. Tinubu wants the Supreme Court to dismiss and quash Atiku'S appeal, and they are doing the hearing, I think, today. And at the end of today, we'll know whether they will uphold Tinubu's application or not. I will not be surprised if this is an orchestrated attempt. They must have asked Tinubu to file this appeal so that they will ride on it and they use it to pass their judgment, because already they have a predetermined mindset towards this case at all. The CJN is in the pocket of the executive, is in the pocket of Tinubu himself, because it's Tinubu that projected him to that point. And so it's going to be difficult to have any contrary judgment to what the election tribunal ruled, and that is actually going to be very disheartening. It is obvious that Nigeria is in the hand of people who wants to destroy it completely. Quite unfortunate. Okay. So thank you for listening, and let's have a comment. That is what is coming from Tinubu to the Supreme Court justices.